Welcome back, guys. If you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, prepaid electricity customers have until this Sunday to recode and update their meters. Now, those who do end up missing the November 24th deadline will no longer be able to buy electricity, and they will also face a steep fee of about 12,000 Rand to bring their meters back onto the system. Now, thankfully, this upgrade can be done by quite easily, and I am joined now by Eskom spokesperson Daphne Mokwena to explain how. Good evening, Daphne. Thank you so much for joining us here on INX Prime Live.
Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers.
But I'm glad that you are on the line. Thank you so much again for joining us. Now, first of all, I just want to obviously congratulate you as well. Now, Eskom has actually created their generation operational recovery plan, and its success has been so good. I mean, we're looking at 238 days of uninterrupted electricity. So we do definitely appreciate that. But I want to get straight into this conversation. Now, with regards to your prepaid customers, we know that you have been doing outreach since August, actually. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, 6.9 million people have actually had their prepaid meters updated already. I just wanted to know, in terms of your guys' stats and demographics, how many more need to be updated?
So we've got as Eskom about 6.9 million customers or prepaid customers that need to, their meters to be updated or rolled over to key revision number 2. So as we speak currently, we've got 5 million customers that have rolled over to KRN2, meaning that they have updated their meters. So we're talking about 1.9 or now you'd have heard the number 2.1 million, which is obviously over and above, those meters that we are finding in also as customers are coming in. So we've got about that 2.1 million that is basically customers that still need to upgrade or update their meters.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, I just want to touch on something you did mention. You spoke about the key revision number and number 2 in particular. I wanted to know, in terms of the key revision number upgrade, does it only apply to Eskom customers and the ones that you've mentioned, the 6.9 million, or does it also include city power customers and those who perhaps buy electricity from the municipalities?
So with municipalities, what I know of a number of 4 million of their customers, but that is nationwide, that have these kind of meters. Remember, it's a specific type of meter, which is a what we call a standard transfer specification meter, or in terms of the software that actually needs to be updated because it is expiring after 30 years, which the 30 years is on Sunday, 24th of November, 2024. So within Eskom, all our prepaid meters are these STS or standard transfer specification meters, which have that stamped or date that they will be expiring on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting comments and questions coming in from social media. I mean, Tabo was saying that, it's going to snow before he's going to stand and wait in a line to be able to, obviously update his meter. So a lot of people are, obviously knowing that they have to do it, but some people are very reluctant to do it. Can you please give us a step-by-step guide on how to upgrade the meter box, starting with how to actually check its status?
So there's no need for him to really go and wait in a queue for him to be able to upgrade his meter, because we have always said that this is a very easy process, and it starts basically the golden rule, and your starting point is when you buy electricity for you to be able to recharge your meter. When you buy electricity, and just make sure that you buy from an authorized vendor or a credit-worthy vendor, which is registered with Eskom. So once you do that, because what we have done from Eskom side, maybe let me just go a step back, because from Eskom, what we did, we prepared these meters to ensure that basically what we mean by preparing these meters, so we pre-coded the meters by ensuring that all the customers, when you go and buy at any point in time, when you need to recharge your meter and have to go and buy from an authorized vendor, you will get these additional codes or 20-digit coded numbers that will basically ensure when you punch it in to your meters, those numbers are the ones that will basically update your meter. So we've made that preliminary work behind the scenes, so that, as I said, that so that when you go and buy your meter is ready to can actually, or the vendor when you buy is will be automatically will be able, on your split slip you will see those two additional numbers. Under normal circumstances, when you buy a token, you will get one 20-digit number, but in this case you'll get three. So once you have received those three 20-digit number, so when you get home, you just need to upload those numbers like you normally do with when you recharge your meter. So but you, in this case, you will start with the top number, or the number that will say KRN1. So it's a 20-digit number. You insert that number, you punch it into your meter, you wait a little, you then punch in the second number, which would say KRN2. You punch that in, that 20, it's also a 20-digit number. Once you've done that, then the last one, which is your supply, it will say supply limit or kilowatt hour, but it's also a 20-digit number. You then insert that particular number. Once your meter has accepted all these three 20-digit number, then you would know that your meter is updated to KRN2. But if you want if you want to check as to whether indeed your meter is updated, there is that 1844 number that I will call in when we are about to finish, that the customers need to just punch in into their meters just to check as to whether their meter is on KRN2 or KRN1. And this number that I'm going to give it, that I'm going to give out, is also very handy in the sense that we know that we have started with the process last year already, August 2023, although we say July 2023. However, we started communicating, reaching out to customers around August. So if you had forgotten, for an example, that, hey, am I part of the 5 million or part of the 2.1 million? So the easiest way is to actually punch this number, because we do forget at times. So it's just to punch in these numbers, insert these numbers, and check as to whether you are on KRN1 or KRN2.
Yeah, that was very, very informative. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. I just want to touch on the individuals, and I know there'll be a lot of them, unfortunately. What is the process of getting back onto the system for those who fail to upgrade their meter boxes before the 24th?
Yeah, so maybe let's start with just emphasizing that it is very important that they go and update their meters in these 4 days that is left, because the repercussions of that, one, it means that your meter, remember, once it expires, basically, simply what it means is that your meter will not be able to accept a credit token, whether it's a ghost vending or an authorized token or an authorized token, right? So your meter, once the credit units that are in your meter runs out, whether they run out on the 24th or they run out on the 27th or the 30th, depending on how many units you have and how much you're consuming. So once they get depleted, then your meter, you need to recharge your meter. So you won't be able to recharge your meter if it's still on KRN1, because your meter will not identify that token. It can only identify the token once it is rolled over to KRN2. So that's number one. So you will be in darkness once your units get depleted. That's one. But two, which is very important, is that after the 24th, what would happen is that if your meter, or you haven't collected the 20 digits that I spoke about, the two sets, If you haven't collected them, one, or you haven't uploaded them on your system, or you haven't even oh yes, I did say you haven't collected, or you haven't went and bought electricity so that you can get the 20 digit. So that meter that you have, it's going to be inoperable, or just going to be a useless gadget, meaning you cannot resuscitate it. So it means that that meter now would need us to come and replace that meter. Now we're saying for us to replace the meter, it may cost the customer a cost of up to 20,000, 12,000 rands, and which is really an unnecessary cost. Which the customer really, I don't think there's anybody who's got a 12,000 lying around, whereas there is a process. You still have time up until Sunday, encouraging customers to start. Your starting point is at the vendor to go and buy, because your 20-digit numbers are waiting for you.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Look, before we do let you go, maybe perhaps you can just share with us a contact number or any place where people can go and get more information about this process and everything else involved.
So remember, I said that there's a number that you need to check. You can just punch into your meter. So that number is 1-844-674-4407-384377-2416. So once you punch this number,
let's get that one more time. Sorry, we're getting a lot of questions coming in saying that they couldn't hear you the first time in terms of the number. Can we get that number one more time from you?
Let me repeat it. It's 1-844-674-4407-384377-2416. So once they punched in that number on their meter will display 1 or 1.2. If it displays that, then you know that your meter is not updated. But if it displays 2 or 2.2, then you know your meter is updated. You don't need to approach Eskom.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant, Daphne. Thank you so much again.
And then we've got also a chat bot as well that the customers can, it's on our social media, it's on our website. They can just go to our chat bot and update their details, and we will contact them once they have contacted us through chatbot or Alfred.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Daphne. We really do appreciate your time, and it was very informative. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you to you too.
Awesome, guys. That is Daphne Mokwena, who is actually the spokesperson of Eskom, just telling us about the important deadline, the 24th of November. Make sure that all of you guys who do have prepaid meters, to make sure that you definitely get it recoded before the 24th. Otherwise, there will be that 12,000 payment that needs to be made as a penalty to be able to get it back in order. Now, on that note, we are going to take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.